5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Play with us, Stevie. This dude, come thou fount of every blessing. Oh, really?
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Charlottesville. My name is Peggy Ruth, and I will be your celebration assistant this morning. I am here with our interim minister, Reverend Richard Bunch. So glad he's here. And of course, our music director, the multi-talented Blair Jones. Our Unity Band and our praise singers. Unity welcomes everyone, regardless of your religion, your origin of birth, nationality, gender identity, sexual preference, political party. We're coming up to it, football team. At Unity, we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. We are all on the same path. So welcome. And thank you for spending part of your Sunday morning here with us, either in the sanctuary or online. We like to open our service in song, so I'll turn it over to Blair Jones.
Right, this is one I know you all know. It comes from the Rumi poem about beyond ideas of right and wrong, there is a field. I'll meet you there. That's where this comes from.
There's a place I often go where I can find peace and rest my soul.
Come on, everybody, I'll meet you there.
You can sing that part with us whenever it comes.
It's a place that clears my mind. It's so close, it's hard to find. Come on, everybody, I'll meet you there. Sing with us. I'll meet you in the morning before the world begins. Give up the same old story and start all over again. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there.
It's a feeling I can't describe, a destination you'll recognize.
Come on, everybody, I'll meet you there. It's the gift we resist the most. That's how we know it's the place to go. Come on, everybody, I'll meet you there. I'll meet you in the morning before the world begins. Give up the same old story, start all over again. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. Let's hear from our violinist. Here we go. I'll meet you in the morning before the world begins. Give up the same old story and start all over again. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. Deep down inside, I'll meet you there.
Where we can fly.
I'll meet you there.
Take it from the heart.
I'll meet you there. That's the place to start. Let's take this party to the streets. Shake it up and move our feet. Come on, everybody, I'll meet you there. I'll meet you in the morning before the world begins. Give up the same old story, start all over again. I'll meet you there.
And just a quick reminder, if you haven't turned off your cell phones or put them on mute, we kindly ask that you do that now. And it is time for our opening prayer. So let's invite Reverend Richard Bunch to the platform.
Good morning. So let's do what we do well in unity. Let's pray together. And so as we take this moment to maybe gently close our eyes, we take a moment to just feel our breathing. To know that the breath of God moving in and through you as you. To know that we are safe in this very place because we are in the now moment. This is a now moment where we grow, where we transform, where we share our love, and where we know that each and every person here and online is ready to continue their spiritual growth and to know that they are the Christ in being. And so it is. Amen.
And let's close this time of prayer by affirming our statement of faith together, please. There is only one purpose and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And you all know this next song. It's an opportunity to greet each other with a handshake or a hug and move around the sanctuary.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Hi. So if you're here for our back to school, back to church youth party, it's happening downstairs. You can head on down there. And just a reminder that the youth and family ministry volunteer orientation meeting is happening after the service today at 12:30 in the large classroom downstairs. So I hope that you'll consider coming. Even if you're not sure yet, if you want to volunteer, you can come listen in and see what it's all about and make a decision after the meeting. I have an announcement this morning, and I'm going to read a little bit so I don't forget any important points. I don't know if we have a slide there for my announcement. No? You don't know? All right. Well, the board has voted to create a beautifully updated and modern version of our current Sunday service PowerPoint slideshow. So I've been given that opportunity to manage the redesign. I'm very excited. The objective is to modernize the PowerPoint in a way that aligns with current design trends and appeals to people who are looking for that recognition of kind of like a updated design look for this PowerPoint that we show every Sunday, and speaks to maybe younger parenting generation. As you know, I'm always rooting for attracting them. So the other thing, though, is we're not going to neglect the current needs for this congregation in this PowerPoint slideshow. So with this redesign, there's going to be a lot of conversation, hearing feedback and suggestions from everyone, and making sure that everyone's desires and needs are met to the best of my ability during this redesign process. So for example, large text size so that everyone can see it in the audience and at home will be maintained. The high contrast so that everyone can see it with the lighting in the sanctuary. And I just wanted to mention that I have over 10 years of experience managing design creation and redesign for event slideshows just like this, websites, event graphics, and I feel really well equipped to handle this. So I'm just very excited to do that. I have lots of ideas. There are suggestion forms and a box to put those suggestion forms in the narthex currently. So if you feel tied to this project in any way, if you have ideas, if you have any desires for it, please let me know through the form, or you can email me. My email is easy to remember. It's YFM, which stands for Youth and Family Ministry, at unitycharlottesville.org. And after that new PowerPoint has been presented in about 2 weeks, we're going to have 2 weeks for suggestions to come in, then we're going to show it and then take feedback for another 2 weeks so that you guys can let us know what you think. If you missed something terribly from the previous design, or if there's some issue with it and you want to make your voice heard, I'm going to hear that for 2 weeks and then revise anything else. So it's going to hopefully be a very democratic process and everyone can have their voice heard. And I just wanted to close by saying that I'm really grateful for this opportunity. I see the new PowerPoint design as just being a way to bring fresh energy and vibrancy to our Sunday service. And I hope that you all here today and the whole congregation will feel the love that I'm going to pour into this project and put out there for the Unity community. So thank you for the opportunity to the board, and that's all. Yeah.
Isn't it wonderful when we have talent like Robin in the congregation and they step up? They step up to help. There's just so many ways that we can be involved, even in small ways, just to enrich the congregation and help Unity of Charlottesville grow. Well, I think Greg has an announcement about the bookstore. No? Okay. All right. All things are good. We are looking for some additional volunteers, I believe. We're shifting into new management in the bookstore. So see Greg if you have an interest. His email address is right up there on the screen. The men's group is ongoing. They meet in the meditation room. The next opportunity is today at 12:30. And Bob, are you here? Oh, okay. Well, any of the men who are interested, please, 12:30, head over to the meditation room. We are looking for some additional volunteers, I think, for Pride. Maria, you want to come give us an update?
Good morning. Saturday church is coming in less than 2 weeks. Saturday, September 6th is Charlottesville Pride. You don't want to miss it. It's love, joy, community, acceptance, beauty. It's fabulous. And so we have a wonderful cast of characters already signed up. We're looking for someone, if you can do, I think it's the 4:30 to 6:30 shift. So one of the later shifts and just helping clean up. It should be super simple. And I wanted to show you, we're going to be giving away all kinds of swag. We're going to be doing bubble blessings, and I can give you a sample of that after the service. And we have little things to give away. And I really wanted to have like a nice pride flag for us. I was like trying to figure out how I would like design one that incorporated pride and unity. And then I typed in Unity Pride on Google. So it's going to be lit. Come to me after the service if you want to sign up and be part of the Love and Joy. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Ask and you shall receive, right? We want to remind you about some of our weekly meditations. Tuesday tune-ups, 12 o'clock. It's just a 15-minute quick Zoom call. Karen, our awesome office manager, heads that up, and she incorporates something from Richard's Sunday message to just kind of get us back tuned up for going into the week. And then, of course, Wednesday we have the healing half hour, 6:30 to 7, also on Zoom. This group has been in existence for quite some time now, and there have been amazing results from the prayers that we have. If you're not able to be there, you can send your prayer request into the office, and it will be included. Food bank. The can is out in the narthex. Next Sunday is our last opportunity to fill it to the brim. So if you have some personal items that you would like to share, please bring them next Sunday. Let's get that big can just full to the brim, ready to go to the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank. And now, join me in our mission statement, please. Together, Unity of Charlottesville empowers everyone to express their unique divinity, making a positive difference in the world.
You can help us on this song by echoing me the way the praise singer's going to echo me. I say, forgive again, and they sing, forgive again. We'll say it again and again so that we can forgive again. You there, nose in the air, I think I see a bee in your bonnet. Been stung, no fun, but there's a remedy if you want it. First you gotta lose that hat and tell that bee to scat. Forgive again.
Forgive again.
Though you can't forget.
Forgive again.
Forgive again.
Forgive again.
No, you won't regret. You think that it just won't die. Agree to let it lie and give it one more try. Forgive again.
Forgive again.
Hey, bud, down in the mud, looking like you'd like to get even. Been dissed, shaking your fist, not inclined to listen to reason. But there's a way to rise above. Just step out of the mud. Forgive again.
Forgive again.
Though you can't forget.
Forgive again.
Forgive again.
Forgive again.
No, you won't regret. You think that you just won't die. agree to let it lie. Give it one more try. Forgive again.
Forgive again.
Loving your enemies is not supposed to be a breeze. So if at first you don't succeed, forgive again.
Forgive again.
Hey me, in the mirror I see pouting isn't very becoming. Been wrong so long, and no apology is forthcoming. I'll show that I got some class. Turn away from that glass. Forgive again.
Forgive again.
Though you can't forget.
Forgive again.
Forgive again.
Forgive again.
No, you won't regret. No, you won't. Well, you think that it just won't die. Agree to let it lie. Give it one more try. Forgive again.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. Thank you. Oh, thank you for the music and that song. That was wonderful. I love that, okay? A song on forgiveness that has some beat to it. I love that. Thank you. Today, as you know, we're going to talk about forgiveness, but as I start, I want to share with you a story about a minister who on a Sunday morning said to the congregation, how many of you need to forgive? And let's say it was a congregation about this size, and about 20 people raised their hand. And he looked at me and said, now, I'm serious. How many of you need to forgive? And then about 80% of the people raised their hand. He said, I know better than this. How many of you need to forgive? Everybody now that needs to forgive, be honest, raise your hand. And everybody in the congregation except one little old lady sitting up there who was 93 years old raised her hand. He said, Sadie, you have nobody to forgive? And she said, shook her head, no. And he said, that's amazing, 93 years, and you have nobody to forgive? She shook her head, no. He said, come up here and tell us. Tell us, how have you done that? So she came up front and she looked at everybody and she said, all the hags died before me. I know somebody like that. Okay, so this morning, you might wonder, why talk about forgiveness? I mean, last week we talked about, what did we talk about? Dare to Believe last week, that's right. And so why forgiveness kind of in this introductory series of messages? And I want to say that I think that no matter how hard we try, when we have a community, when we have things that happen in the community, when we have a close, tight community, and I'm describing each of you, what happens is things happen. And they're not always in agreement. I've met people who've sat on boards and are still feel angry about that board experience. I've had people who felt like certain things in the church were not attended to properly and got angry about it and had to blame it on somebody at that point in their life. So I have seen in a community where it really can be sometimes hard for people to even recognize that they need to forgive, much less forgive. So that's why I'm talking about this today, because my guess is that over the last 30 years or so, that things have built up and that some of us have things to release and let go of. And that's what forgiveness is. It's just releasing and let go of that we think has harmed us. And I like to say we think has harmed us. And so as we look at this, the first question comes, why is it so hard to forgive? Well, the first thing that folks tell us is that the pain of what happened feels too real. In other words, if somebody hurts us, it just isn't about the action. It leaves behind deep wounds sometimes trauma, especially in cases of abuse. Child abuse, senior abuse, abuse in the household. And when that happens, it's like if I let go of this, I'm afraid that I am saying to that person it was okay. And that's not what we're doing. Because if that's what you feel, then you're misunderstanding forgiveness. And we also, at times, confuse forgiveness with forgetting. I, as of yet, haven't figured out how to forget things that have hurt me, mostly by myself. However, what I've learned is, the first time I decide I'm going to forgive a situation or a person or myself, I do it, and then something comes up a few days later, and I have all the same sensations. I'm upset, it bothers me, I'm kind of angry at the person or the situation, and I feel it. And then I forgive. Take a moment, go into prayer, and I forgive. I let go. And I feel better. And then a week later, it happens again. And I have the same feelings. Not quite as strong, but they're there. And then eventually, one day, I think about it, and there are no feelings attached to it. It just was something that took place. And now I know that I've gotten through the ability and used the power of forgiveness to enrich my life. So don't expect that something maybe that's really bothered you, upset you, or you feel harmed by is just going to go away automatically because you say, I forgive. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it takes a lot of time. And we expect immediate results when it's really not possible. Because you see, what we fear is losing justice. And what I mean by that is if I forgive, they get away with it. And we don't want anybody to get away with it, right? I mean, come on. We're not trained that way. We don't grow up that way. We're not taught that in most cases. And so what we learn to do is hold on to that idea of justice, and then that means if I forgive, I am now allowing you to get away with being unrighteous or unjust. And so I have to release that thought, because that's not what forgiveness does. It's just a myth. And then we also might say that, pride gets in our way. Think about that. Pride gets in our way. So part of us doesn't want to forgive because we want to stay above the other person. I want to be able to look down on somebody. Now, I know that doesn't sound like unity, right? And I'm sure nobody here has that thought or that feeling. It's really a feeling or emotion. But, however, I'm sure that somebody sitting here has probably experienced that, okay? And if not, I'll tell you I have, okay? So we know one person has. And so what we want to do is hold on to the justice, and instead of letting that person, releasing that person, we decide that we are better than that person. And that makes us feel, that makes our ego feel good. That's really what happens. And so pride gets in the way. And it also, feels unfair just to forgive somebody. I mean, look what they did to me. I've had a few things in my life happen, and it's taken me years. It took me about a 10-year period to really let go of some circumstances that I should have never gotten into, but I did. When I moved back to Virginia from New Jersey, I was considered to be a very wealthy man. This was around 1988. And what happened is that I sold my business, so I was well off financially. At least I thought I was. So what happened was, in about a 3-year period, I went into real estate, which I didn't belong in. I know nothing about real estate. I just thought you'd make a lot of money in it. And I lost, in a 3-year period, everything I'd gained over a 30-year period. And so I was pretty upset with myself. And I really blamed others for a while. And it really took me 10 years of searching to get out of that state of unforgiveness. And during that 10-year period, I realized it was me, not somebody else I could blame. Initially, I was blaming somebody else. Eventually, I really understood it was me who had to deal with this and not use somebody else as a reason. And what happened very candidly is that Vicki and I moved to El Paso, Texas. And in El Paso, Texas, Vicki found unity. Well, Vicki's my wife. And if Vicki found unity, then Richard was going to find unity, okay? And so one Sunday morning, one Saturday, she said, look, I found this church I'd like to try out. It's called Unity. And I said, I've been to a Unitarian church and I'm not interested. She said, it's not a Unitarian church. I said, what? She said, it's different. I said, okay. So she said, would you go with me? Now, I got to tell you, it was a huge sacrifice because every Sunday morning in El Paso, I went over to Juarez when it was safe and played golf. And it was a gorgeous golf course. And then we would meet, downtown and in the marketplace and have a beer and then go home. It was a pretty nice Sunday. And Vicki asked me to go to church. Now, this tells you how much I love Vicki, okay? So we went to church. In the first service, Vicki and I heard 2 different messages. She heard the words Mother, Father, God. And that meant a lot to her because she was really kind of fed up with the patriarch God that she'd been brought up as. And then I heard, God does not see any sin in you. God does not need to forgive you. God accepts you just as you are. And I got to tell you, after 10 years of walking around beating myself to death, I took that message to heart. And it was then that we started coming to Unity, and we haven't finished yet. I actually gave up my golf game on Sunday morning. Hey, I know, it's really hard. And I'm still feeling that. But anyway, I haven't, I'm working on forgiving Vicki for that. But no, anyway. I'm scared to go home now. Anyway. So, why is it so hard to forgive? Because we just don't want to sometimes. That's really the truth of it. And because we're not trained to. We've been brought up, and most of us in the culture that we've been brought up is that forgiveness is not the thing we talk about as get even. It's win, no matter what. And when you don't forgive somebody and you think you have something over them, you falsely think you're winning. And then the next one here is, what are the effects of non-forgiveness? Well, I think you probably have heard them before, but let's just review them. Number one is there is an emotional burden that we carry around. I can tell you in that 10-year period, I was not a happy person. And I'm pretty easy to live with, but I wasn't then. Because I felt really bad about myself and about what I had done. And I felt like I'd turned my back to God, actually. And so during that time, I was bitter at times. I did hold resentment. I could feel anger much quicker. I could feel sorry for myself much quicker. And frustration became a companion, a constant companion. And that's what it can do to you if you're not willing to forgive. And it can damage relationships. And in damaging relationships means that there can be the inability to build bridges and create walls in the relationship. Most of us have probably gone through that, either with a child, with a spouse, a partner, a mother, or a father, whereby we really have damaged the relationship because of our unforgiveness. And that creates distance, as we know, and when we have distance, we hurt. And families, marriages, relationships, friendships can remain divided for years over this. When I was in El Paso, I taught a class, I didn't taught a class, but I had a group called Growing Older, Wiser, and Healthier. This was a grant that we received of $50,000 from a community foundation. And what we were charged with was creating a program for people over 60, and we had art teachers come in, and we had classes on forgiveness, and we had those kinds of things, but we couldn't unitize it because it was a community foundation, even though we sponsored it there at the church. We even had a bus where we'd pick people up. And the goal was to have 40 people actively involved in this program, which would take place 2 mornings a week. We had, in the first year, 100 people involved. And one of the classes we taught was the 4 agreements, okay? Just from a practical standpoint. And what happened is that Jean, who was a congregant and a dear friend, she used to make sure that my tie was correct when I wore ties, okay? Every Sunday morning, she'd sit up front. She'd make sure my hair was combed, make sure my zipper was zipped, excuse me. She took care of everything, and she was a dear friend. But Jean had an issue with her daughter-in-law, and her daughter-in-law didn't like Jean. And so Jean didn't like her daughter-in-law. And they couldn't get along for 2 minutes. And if Jean would go to see her son, the daughter-in-law would leave the house until Jean left and then come back. It was that bad. So Jean decided that she was going to forgive herself for the way she felt about her daughter-in-law, and that she would forgive her daughter-in-law. And then she decided that what she was going to do is see her daughter-in-law greeting her at the door the next time she went to visit. So for 3 months, every day, 2 or 3 times a day, she visualized, her daughter-in-law standing at the door and saying, "Welcome." 3 months later, her son called and said, "Come see us." She said, "Fine." Jean went there, stepped up to the door, rang the doorbell. Her daughter-in-law stepped up and said, "I owe you the biggest apology in the world. I am so sorry for the way I have thought about you and treated you. So please, please come in." True story. She visualized through forgiveness and visualized what could happen, and it took place in her life. She was a tough old lady, and I say that with much love. But she really, when she decided to do something, she did it. And so that's the power of forgiveness, if you would, when we understand that it can damage relationships. And then also, what are some things I can do to be forgiving? And there are a number, obviously, that are available to us. The first one is acknowledge the hurt honestly. Forgiveness doesn't mean pretending nothing happened. Be real with yourself and with God about the pain. Naming it is the first step to releasing it. So name the pain. What I call it is embracing the pain, because that pain is down within you. It is part of your subconscious. Even though you may consciously be thinking of it, the real pain comes from the subconscious. And when you bring that up using a denial, this has no power over me, you then are able to use an affirmation which says, I behold the God in this situation. I behold the Christ in me. So you can affirm who and what you are. And when you do that, then the pain is released. Next is to pray for strength. You know, and for me, that's not so much just saying I'm praying for strength. For me, it's just acknowledging that the Spirit within me is all there is. That it is the power of love flowing through me and flowing through you. And when I acknowledge that, it is amazing how open I can become to what I thought was an injustice. And how easily I start to look at myself rather than looking at somebody else as a challenge. And then we need to shift perspective to try to see the situation through what we call the eyes of God. How would Spirit, I like to use the word Spirit, how does Spirit see this? How does Spirit evaluate this? How does Spirit help me through this? How does Spirit give me the ability to release and let go so that I am one with Spirit itself? Anytime I'm in a state of non-forgiveness, I am not in contact with God. I'm out of reach of God. And I'm talking about God not as an entity. I'm not talking about God as an old man up there with a beard. I'm talking about that Christ presence that's within each and every person, including yourself. And when I turn to that, it changes my perspective. And then I also want to be able to release the right to revenge. You see, a lot of forgiveness is really saying, I will not hold this over you or seek to make you pay. That might be a hard thing to do, especially in some personal issues, traumatic situations. And then another thing you can do is practice some small acts of grace. Sometimes we need to take action, like Jean did, and go and see her daughter-in-law. We need to have the ability to be able to, how do I want to say this, to be able to really respond rather than react. Okay, respond rather than react. Now, as long as I'm here, you're going to hear those words from me, because it's like, you know, a motto. Respond rather than react. And when we don't forgive, we react. And when we think about it and work on it, we respond. We come up with solutions. We come up with ways that make our life better. And we come up with ways that make us more of a pure vessel of Spirit moving in and through the world, through you and yourself. And then, if the wound is deep enough, seek support, professional support. You can, my door is wide open. There are therapists who specialize in these areas. There are spiritual directors who work in this area. There are people who can support you as you work on that issue of needing to forgive. One of the things that happen is the idea that sometimes people think that forgiveness can guarantee reconciliation. It cannot. They're two different things. My forgiving you is my forgiving you, period. Reconciliation means that you and I renew our friendship or bring back our friendship. And that's not always possible. Sometimes we need to forgive people. There's still a trust issue there. We have to honor that. Sometimes we have to be able to forgive really unconditionally, but understand because of safety or because of the idea of repentance and the willingness has to come from both sides that there may not be reconciliation available. I've forgotten which step it is on the 12 steps. It says just go and apologize to somebody for what you've done. Number 10. Thank you. And so when we do that, what happens is that we're not asking or expecting anything from them. We may receive it, but many times you won't. And it's okay, because you're doing your own work, not their work. And as you step into that, you're able to really forgive. And so as we look at this idea of forgiveness, what we know is that there are benefits of being a forgiving person. And those benefits really come, as I've mentioned before, in releasing who you are to be a true vessel of spirit. What we teach in Unity, that each and every person, the Christ is within each of you. What does that mean? That means that when I say, I behold the Christ in you, I don't look at your stuff, I look through your stuff. I don't even see your stuff. I don't feel your stuff. That's all yours. I behold you for what you truly are. And that's the Christ in existence right here, right now, expressing as God. And so when we have the ability to do that, then what we know is that we are feeling the benefits and expressing the benefits of being a forgiving person. Nelson Mandela said it this way: forgiveness liberates the soul, it removes fear. That's why it's such a powerful weapon. Forgiveness removes fear. And so as we move forward, remember that forgiveness breaks the chains that hold you back in many ways, liberates you, frees you, and allows you to have that relationship that we all need and want. And that's a pure relationship with the beingness that we are, with the Christ, with Spirit, with God, whatever words you want to use. It's all the same. And so, just remember that it sets you free. So dare to believe, as we talked about last week, dare to forgive. I dare you to forgive. God bless you and thank you.
Somewhere on your journey, some time ago, someone broke a sacred trust, and the hurt and the anger continue to grow, slow like a mountain, a glacier of ice. You get used to the load, make room for the size, till now it bends you to the ground. You could carry that weight for 1,000 miles, or you could just lay it down, down. You could just lay it down. You say that what was done took your heart away, left your words out in the wind. And if you hold this burden like an iron gate, nothing gets out and nothing gets in. But as you grow weary and time steals the days, your grip, it starts shifting around. You can carry that weight in 1,000 ways, or you could just lay it down, down. You can just lay it down. You can just lay it down. Now this trial is over when you say so. You don't have to wait anymore. And it doesn't really matter when you let it go. There's nobody counting, no one keeping score. A little forgiveness from deep inside, that's where mercy is found. You have carried that weight for 1,000 times, but now you can lay it down, down. Now you can lay it down. Now you can lay it down. You could have carried that weight till the end of time, but now you can lay it down.
Now, let's prepare to lay it down by closing our eyes. And let's take a journey this morning, not a long journey, and see yourself on a path in the forest. It's a nice path, it's prepared, and you're walking that path, and you actually find yourself doing a walking meditation. And as you move through the path, you can feel the sunlight casting through the shadows. You can feel yourself opening up, laying it down. And as you do that, you come to a clearing. And when you come to the clearing, there is a meadow. Beautiful green grass. And there's the sunlight. And you feel the warmth. And there's a bench in the middle of the meadow. And you walk to that bench. And you sit down on that bench now. Feel yourself sitting on that bench in the sunlight. And then as you do, you ask yourself, what do I need to forgive? Or who do I need to forgive? And so ask yourself that question and allow to come up within you the answer. This is the now moment. You are in a safe place. And as you identify maybe a simple situation or a difficult situation, you know there's a power within you to forgive and let go. It may just be a beginning. It may be the first step, but it's an important step. And so sit for a moment in the silence, doing the work that Spirit on high is doing through you. Now as you begin back to this moment, feel that sunlight. See yourself rising from the bench and walking back. Feel the coolness of the shadows. Feel the beauty of each and every tree. Feel the comfort of feeling that you have released something that has held you back. And knowing that, we give thanks. Thanks for each and every moment. Thanks for this opportunity to be together, pray together, work together. And so it is. Namaste.
Richard, thank you for that wonderful, deep, the message. Boy, it moved me. I don't know how many of you dredged some stuff up about forgiveness, but thank you for the steps to work through it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. And that beautiful guided meditation. I love it. Well, now we had the opportunity to give back to Unity of Charlottesville. This is the time to share our tithes, our offerings. There are many ways to give here at Unity of Charlottesville. The butterfly net will be coming around and you can put your offering in the net. You can text to give. The number is right there on the screen. You can also use the QR code. We're getting into new technology like Robin was talking about earlier. And of course, you can always mail your gift to the church office. We are so thankful for all of your gifts and your tithes, no matter the amount. It is each of you that help make this spiritual home possible, so thank you. And let's bless our tithes and our offerings together, please. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. So be it.
I did this song a couple months back. It's one of my all-time favorites. And I'm going to give you a short summary of what this song was written and what it is about. On October 2nd, 2006, a gunman entered a one-room Amish schoolhouse in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. When the police arrived at the scene, they found 10 girls aged 6 to 13 had been shot, and the gunman had committed suicide. In the aftermath of this tragedy, the Amish community reached out to the gunman's family. In their own grief and pain, they extended comfort and forgiveness to this suffering family. This powerful act of forgiveness inspired this song. Forgive us. Little town that I was born in, early every Sunday morning we'd drive past those fields of corn that led us to St. James. Planted in those hard oak pews, your neighbors sitting next to you said the words each of us knew as well as our own names. Our Father, who art in heaven, holy is your name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Give us this day our bread. Then came the hardest part, the one that troubled every heart, those haunting words of mystery that long have followed after me. Forgive us as we forgive, forgive us as we forgive, forgive us as we forgive each other. In the long years since those days, my soul and heart have often strayed, but still I vow my life to pray those sweet, familiar words. Though the meanings shift and dart, whenever I come to that part, it stirs my soul, it stills my heart like nothing I have heard. Forgive us as we forgive, forgive us as we forgive, forgive us as we forgive each other. Whoa, forgive us as we forgive, forgive us as we forgive, forgive us. In the long years since those days, my heart and soul have often strayed, but still I vow my life to pray those sweet, familiar words. Oh, the meanings shift and dart, whenever I come to that part, it stirs my soul, it stills my heart like nothing I Forgive us as we forgive. Forgive us as we forgive us as we forgive each other. Sometimes what's holy is so true, it's standing right in front of you. Nothing you can really do, there's nothing you can say, except to humbly take your place. And in every trial that we face, may we somehow find the grace to live the words we pray. Forgive us as we forgive. Forgive us as we forgive us as we forgive each other. Oh, forgive us as we forgive us as we forgive us. Forgive. Thank you, Blair. Thank you, Stevie.
So heartfelt. Thank you, John. Thank you. Well, let's bless these tithes, these offerings. Mother, Father, God, we send them forth to provide your will, your way, and your work. And so it is. Amen. Now it's time to hear from the youth. So come on up.
We are walking as the light of God. 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 We are walking, we are walking, we are walking as the light of God. We are walking, we are walking, we are walking as the light of God.
All right. Well, here we are. So today we had a little celebration. School has started. And we talked a little bit about what we want out of the coming year. And a lot of great ideas came up, and it was inspiring for me. So I'm just going to pass it on so you guys can share.
Hi, I'm Morgan. It's great to be back on the stage, actually. It's been a while. But, so we were talking about what we wanted to do to grow the youth ministry, and we've decided on a few things to help bring more teens into the group, and maybe one of the ideas that I had was to bring back more special ceremonies. Like a while back, I have no idea when it was, but we did this Christmas ceremony thing, and then that was really cool. We had Christmas songs, and there was the talent show. That was a while back too. I feel like if we incorporate more of those things, it would help people want to come and to express themselves, and I feel like it would be a great addition to help grow the ministry. Thank you.
I agree with Morgan on a lot of the things she said. The only thing I would add is I suggested we do some volunteering for teens, specifically more hands-on work that you might not want somebody that's a little younger doing. That's what I kind of suggested.
Yeah, so I'm Meredith. I'm one of the teachers, and I just want to give a big hand to Robin. She's done such an amazing job with growing this program and with her ideas. Yes. Yay, Robin. So, yeah, she just brings such beautiful vision and creativity, and we have so much fun with just the experiential component of it. So I've loved getting out in nature with the kids and just celebrating the beauty of creation and doing some, healthy classes too, where we're learning about how being healthy honors God through our bodies. And I want to do a sound bath for the kiddos in the future too, and just the beauty of music and how God's given us that beautiful gift for healing and expression. So just, I want to thank Robin and the kids for showing up, and excited to continue to grow.
All right. I'm really emotional because this feels really good. I've been alone on stage up here quite a few times. You guys all are so involved in your communities, so that was just also me saying, I know you've been very busy with sports and activities, and I'm just so happy to see everyone here today. And whenever you can make it to a Sunday service in the future, we are going to have a lot of these ideas come to fruition in the coming months. And again, if you are interested in being a part of it and helping us even grow even stronger as a youth ministry, please join us for the meeting today at 12:30 downstairs in the large classroom. All right, thank you guys for sharing. Anything else? We good? All right. We're ready for our blessing. Children, Uniteens, YOUers, teachers, and parents, you are loved, special, and important. Thank you.
Thank you all. And I'll just share something personal with you. If you feel like being down in the large classroom on a Sunday to teach the youth means that you're missing what's going on in the sanctuary, you'd be surprised the message that you take away from the children. Think about it. Do we have anyone here this morning for the first time? Want to be brave and raise your hand? Welcome, welcome. So glad you're here. Thank you for coming. Do we have anybody here for the second time? Well, if you're joining us online, we'd like to invite you to join us here in the sanctuary any Sunday morning, 10:30. We would love to have the power of your positive energy with us. I want to make one quick announcement. We don't have a slide for it. We have an artist in residence program that we feature in the terrace level, and Richard Shepard has been featured before. He's a wonderful artist in pine resin, and he has opened Cedar Hill Studio and Gallery, his very maybe first gallery, and you are invited to the grand opening September 6th and 7th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Richard? Frank. Frank, I'm sorry. He is in the back with a beautiful walking stick. If you'd like more information, please speak to him after the service. We want to remind you that we have pastoral care if you need help with picking a prescription up at the drugstore or a ride to a doctor's office, something of that nature. You can reach out to the church office. Kim Simmons heads that team, and we'll do everything we can to arrange to help you with that. We also have healing helpers that will be in the back corner over here. They're available for group prayer. Buddy Leffers will be up front for individual prayer. Next week, Reverend Richard's topic will be Dare to Create. That sounds exciting. Look forward to that. We have many people to thank for this service. We can't do it without a large team. Thanks to the blessing team. I know Denise and Ellen were both on that, and who else? Frank, thank you. And Maria. I don't get a list of everybody. Up in the sound booth, we've got Greg and Amy. Thanks you so much for your work. Of course, our music team, the band, Stevie, Ty, Blue, our praise singers, John, Karen, Janice, and Kevin, Blair, the incredible back and forth, right? What does she not play? John's right here.
And John.
Yes. And of course, Reverend Richard, thank you so much for your beautiful message and meditation. Let's close, please, with a prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And wherever God is, all is well.